take a seat, thanks. Quickly take a seat, thanks. Welcome to Founders Assembly. Please stand and welcome Epsom Girls Grammar School 2021 Founders to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. Tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to everybody to the 2021 Founders Awards Assembly. How wonderful it is to be able to hold this event. As I said to you a couple of weeks ago, no Founders Awards were presented last year in recognition of the global pandemic. This morning we are going to see 3 alumni recognised for their achievements in their chosen field. Please welcome the co-presidents of the Epsom Girls Grammar School Old Girls Association, Sally Bly and Lynley Sherry, to the podium.
Welcome to the special occasion. It is one of the Old Girls events that we take so much pleasure in, and it's a real honour to celebrate the outstanding achievements of this year's Founders Award recipients, especially given that this is the OGA's centenary year. Each year, the committee considers a number of nominations and suggestions that are put forward, from which we select our founders. We are fortunate that a great number of high-calibre women graduate from EGS, which of course makes selection a difficult task. We are very thrilled this year to honour 3 women in diverse fields who stand out as leaders and motivators. Today, we are proud to welcome them as EGS founders, and you will meet them shortly. But before that, we have 2 students to acknowledge. Firstly, we have a special OGA Centennial Scholarship to present, and we are pleased to award this to Sofia Morgan. Sofia, a Year 13 student at a boarder at Epsom House, has been selected to represent Fiji in sailing at the Tokyo Olympics. Sofia began sailing when she was 8 years old, growing up in Fiji. When she came to EGS, she was introduced to the competitive side of sailing, participating in regattas and national championships. She has represented Fiji at the 2019 South Pacific Games in Samoa, and in Melbourne in February 2020, just before lockdown, she qualified to represent Fiji at the Olympics. Get my page. The postponement of the 2020 Games afforded her extra time to hone her skills and improve her endurance by spending as much time on the water as she can. Sofia trains hard, studies weather patterns, and takes the nutritional and fitness aspects of the sport seriously. Sofia, your school, Epsom House, and the Old Girls Association are very proud of your selection to represent Fiji at the Tokyo Olympics this year. We are pleased to recognise your achievement with a special Old Girls Association Centennial Scholarship of $2,000. Congratulations, Sofia.
The 4 EGGS values, community, curiosity, compassion and courage, are woven through the lives of each EGGS founder, and we're sure that you'll find the citations and stories about our new founders who we honour here today both remarkable and inspirational. They have contributed significantly at global, national and community levels and display commitment and integrity in every layer of their lives. We'd firstly like to acknowledge Jacqueline Druitt, who's done a splendid job behind the scenes to ensure this assembly is extra special. Jacqueline is the staff rep on the Old Girls Committee, filling in for Trish Milner while she's on sabbatical. So thank you, Jacqueline. And thanks also to the students who have been involved in preparing the event. One of these students is Alice Raia, who is the student rep on the Old Girls Committee. Alice has been on our committee since 2017 and has been a real shining star, attending nearly every meeting, which have mostly been on Zoom since COVID, contributing valuable suggestions and ideas, putting her hand up to get involved in anything and everything, and always with a cheery manner and lovely smile. Alice has a mature and enthusiastic approach to all that she does. She has helped her mum, Anise, with organising the Year 13 graduation dinner. She has assisted with various events within the school and the OGA, which brings students and old girls together. She's had constructive input into the OGA centenary plans, and she's involved in many activities, including Pacifica, and we'd like to acknowledge Alice, or to use her Cook Island name, Akiina, today as a valued member of our committee, and we hope you remain on our committee as a recent old girl once you graduate from EGGS. Please come and accept a token of our huge appreciation for all you do. And now I'd like to hand over to Akiina to introduce our first Founders Award recipient.
Thank you very much. That was very sweet. Kia ora ana, talofa lava, malolele, whakaalofa atu, kia ora, warm Pacific greetings. Our first recipient is a prominent Samoan barrister working with youth and child protection and continues to be influential in protecting the vulnerable communities. What I admire and what inspires me the most about Sandra is her desire and ambition to impact her community and help others. And I think this is something we can all aspire to do. Ele e moa moa Sandra Alofi Vai attended EGGS from 1980 to 1984. She graduated with a Bachelor of Laws degree in 1989 and later returned to the university, completing a Master's of Business Administration in 2016. Sandra's journey in law and community service began in earnest in 1994, when she and 2 colleagues set up a legal practice that would over the next 10 years become one of the biggest child protection practices in South Auckland. A barrister since 2005, Sandra made a name for herself as an advocate for vulnerable families, often focusing on difficulties of young people. To understand what has driven Sandra Alofi to become such a transformative figure in South Auckland, you first have to know the 3 pillars that hold up her world: family, faith, and an unwavering belief in the power of community. All 3 elements have governed every action that she has taken, as she has blazed an inspiring trail as a successful lawyer, selfless community leader, and tireless champion of the area's family and youth. Her tireless work in the vulnerable families area led her to serving as a member of the Pacific Advisory Group for the Ministry of Social Development when she was the first part-time Pacific Families Commissioner appointed in 2004. Her hands-on role as a Families Commissioner would eventually lead to the 2014 Vulnerable Children's Act. This protects children from violent offenders and is a step towards a safer world for children. Sandra has since served in various governance roles, including County's Manukau District Health Board, now known as Kainga Ora, Housing New Zealand Board, as Independent Director of Pacifica Futures, now known as Whānau Ura, and is a member of the Auckland Community Response Forums. Currently, Sandra, who is a mother of 4 young adults and a commissioner with the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Abuse in Care, is the chair of Affirming Works, a not-for-profit Pacific social service provider. Since July 2016, Sandra has been the independent chair of the South Auckland Social Wellbeing Board, working with government agencies on issues facing preschool children and their families. Throughout Sandra's commitment to family and community life in South Auckland, her impressive dedication to the Presbyterian Church also deserves recognition. Since 1989, Sandra has worked as a volunteer at Mangere Pacific Islanders Presbyterian Church, with the church's national board since 1994. Sandra lost her father when she was only 1. She experienced firsthand the pressures that many Pacifica families face in South Auckland. Sandra's own experiences inspired her and gave her an intimate knowledge of the day-to-day factors that impact families in South Auckland. This allowed her to become such an important and impactful change-making community leader. Sandra received national recognition for her work in 2016, becoming a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2016 for her services to youth and Pacific community, and in 2018 she was recognised with the Blake Leaders Award by Sir Peter Blake Trust. Sandra's call is for the voices of the Pacific community to be heard, and we now wait and look forward to hearing her voice today. It is a great pleasure to honour Sandra as a distinguished alumna of Epsom Girls Grammar School and a recipient of a Founders Award in 2021 for outstanding achievement in law and community service. Give a warm welcome to Sandra Alofi-Vai.
Bless you, Alice. Tēnā koutou katoa, whātalofa atu pa ia malumalo lau whiam whain whātasi mai lēnei tai au fōu. I look around this room and I remember the spots that I used to sit in when I was here many years ago in the third form 3WM. We used to sit just in that back half there in the far corner. I don't think we ever made it to the top half in the 5 years that I was here, but the school looks very much the same. The colours are the same. The faces look familiar. Although I must say now, being here some 35 years later, the ethnic population mix is a lot different, and I'm so grateful to Epsom Girls for the vision that the forefathers, or the foremothers I should say, have had in being able to expand the school and the diversity. I was an out-of-zone student, so I travelled by bus from Mangere. It took 2 buses to get me here, and sometimes we'd get here late, and back then the deputy principal was Mr. Sorby, and we would always have to offer every other excuse under the sun. He'd tell us to catch an earlier bus. But our principal, Ms. Gay Griffith, was just an amazing woman who inspired so much. I've only got a couple of minutes, so can I first just say I want to thank the school and I want to thank the committee for the honour and the privilege in recognising the work that I've done. Actually, we don't do it for recognition, we do it because we have a heart for the people and the communities that we live in. I want to thank my family, but in particular my mother, because it was my mother, coming from a single parent family, it was her dream that we could go to a school where all of the parents and the children there would have a very similar vision. They just wanted the very best for their children. So I'm so grateful to the grounding of Epsom Girls Grammar and what I've learned, and where I am today is very much a large reflection of the foundation that I was able to build here as a young person. I want to say to you that actually education is the greatest leveller. It's not your background, where you come from, it's how you use the tools that are put in front of you. I wasn't one that got lots of awards in school, but can I encourage you to claim and own your place in our nation, in our global world, to bring your sphere of greatness to influence others, always for the greater good. So to my family who are all watching on live stream, this is for you. And I want to end by just saying I just return all glory to God for this moment, and to the school for being able to honour past members in recognition, really, of what you've been able to invest in our lives, and what my prayer is that we can go out and invest in the nation that we claim our home. Baftai lava.
After graduating from EGS in the 1970s, Catherine trained as a nurse and travelled extensively overseas. Life then lured her towards a career in food and cooking. Following a solid grounding at Leith School of Food and Wine in the UK in 1982, Catherine returned to New Zealand and established Auckland's first 7-day delicatessen. She developed a busy catering division and also began importing new and unusual European food products that had never before been available in New Zealand. In 1989, she set up what became New Zealand's leading cookware store and cooking school, the Epicurean Workshop in Newmarket. Stocking the latest products from around the world, this evolved into the very first online cookware store, enabling the products to be available throughout the country. The busy demonstration cooking school offered an extensive range of cooking classes, and Catherine taught thousands of people how to cook, inspiring them about good food so that they could take their skills into the family home. Alongside all this, she began writing, which culminated in the publication of 2 cookbooks, Everyday Epicurean and Entertaining Epicurean. In 2004, she co-founded award-winning Dish magazine, and through this she inspired people to cook new and different dishes, support local producers, and purchase better quality food. In 2008, Catherine's concern about the disconnection with food, where it comes from, the seasons, how to cook it, and how to enjoy it, led her to co-found the Garden to Table Trust, so that children aged 7 to 10 years could learn to grow, harvest, prepare, and share good food as a part of their learning at school. By 2019, over 12,000 primary school students cook and ate nearly 500,000 vegetable-based meals. Catherine launched her 3rd cookbook in 2019 to celebrate 10 years of Garden to Table. Bounty Cooking with Vegetables was written and self-published to raise funds for the charity. Today, Catherine is the owner of Epicure Trading Limited, which imports and distributes a range of cookware and related products for the food service and retail sectors, all with a sustainable ethic. This business specializes in beautiful, functional items for kitchen and table with a strong focus on sustainability and quality. Catherine has traveled frequently over the years to source new products and research freelance stories about food and culinary travel, and Morocco is a favorite destination. Catherine has judged many culinary competitions and is a member of the Food Writers New Zealand. She holds the title of Certified Culinary Professional, a highly regarded qualification which is held by only approximately 300 people worldwide. Although Catherine's career has changed and adapted over the years, her philosophy has remained strong. She believes cooking should be a pleasure rather than a chore, and that keeping it simple is key. Her love of sharing food around a table with others is the important fourth element of Garden to Table. Catherine has an array of well-deserved achievements and recognitions through her passion for food. Her vision is to ensure New Zealanders understand the benefits of eating well and know how to cook and prepare food to achieve that goal. As a cook, food and travel writer, businesswoman, not-for-profit chair, and proud mother of two, Catherine has forged a groundbreaking and multi-layered approach to food, cooking, retail, and education that has enhanced the lives of many New Zealanders. Catherine's work and story is truly an inspiration to myself and other young women. Her passion for cooking and the health of young Kiwi kids is something that will continue to impact the lives of many for generations to come. It is a great pleasure to honour Catherine as a distinguished alumna of Epsom Girls Grammar and a recipient of a Founders Award for her outstanding achievement in business and the community.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Hello, everyone. Well, I can't talk off the cuff like Sandra, so I've got my notes in front of me. But it's a huge honour to be here today and to receive this award. Thank you all, and thank you to the committee for putting my name forward. To say that it was unexpected is a bit of an understatement. That's because I was by no means an A student during my years here at Epsom Girls, although I like to think I did work hard. Later on, I came to realise that I'm actually more of a creative thinker than an intellectual one, but I didn't let that stop me from chasing my dreams. Not everybody learns in the same way. School's a really very important stepping stone to the rest of your lives. Where you end up afterwards is entirely, of course, up to you. My initial path was into nursing. That was my next stepping stone. It pushed a few buttons that resonated with me, and I loved it. And it taught me valuable skills that I have used throughout my life. But it was never my intention to be a nurse forever. Not that I knew then what I would do. It was actually travelling that helped me to work that out, and it wasn't long before I moved into the world of food. And this is where I've stayed in some form or other ever since. My interest in food came from my wonderful mother, who sadly died when I was just 17. But my entrepreneurial spirit was definitely inherited from my father, who gave me incredible support as I built and developed my career. I've loved every minute of the various incarnations of my chosen field, although it has certainly not been without its challenges. Fortunately, I never saw any barriers to doing what I wanted to do. That's not to say I didn't suffer from periods of self-doubt, but I always managed to push through. So when I decided to change course or evolve the business, I always found a way. Over the years, it became more and more important to me to inspire people to cook and eat good food. This was cemented in the Garden to Table Trust, which is my absolute passion. I'm incredibly proud of what it achieves. It is so important that we all know where our food comes from and how to feed ourselves and our families well. And instilling these skills in young children sets them up for life. So my message to you, as young women thinking about and planning for your own futures, is to consider what pushes your buttons. Find something you will love, but always know that you can change and evolve what you do along the way. My 3 pieces of advice to you are quite simple. Listen to your gut feeling. That's something that's stood me in good stead. Never be afraid to ask for help, and always try and give back. There is no greater reward in life. Kia ora koutou. Kia maia, kia kaha, kia mawa nui. Be strong, be brave, be steadfast. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce the final recipient of a Founders Award this morning to Dr. Frether Hanning. Frether Hanning was born in Auckland, and although she lived in the grounds of St. Cuthbert's College, where her mother, Frances Compton, was principal, she attended Epsom Girls Grammar School. After finishing her education at EGS in 1991, she completed her degree in medicine at the University of Auckland Medical School in 1998. Having initially studied at Otago University for her preclinical medical years. During her advanced training, she worked extensively in the United Kingdom at the Royal London and St Bartholomew's Hospitals, the Royal Free Hospital London, and also at Cancer Research UK in Oxford. While in the UK, Frether completed a certificate in palliative care and symptom management from the University of Wales. She is a Fellow of the Royal College of Physicians UK and also of the Royal Australasian College of Physicians New Zealand. Frether is a specialist in genitourinary cancer, managing treatment for people with prostate, bladder, kidney and testicular cancers predominantly. Frether has dual appointments, in addition to her role at Auckland City Hospital, where she is the Associate Director of Cancer and Blood and works as a medical oncologist. She is also a director of Canopy Healthcare Group and an honorary lecturer at the University of Auckland Medical School. She is a contributor to ongoing scientific research in genitourinary cancer with involvement in current trials and as a New Zealand representative on the Australian-New Zealand Urogenital and Prostate Cancer Scientific Committee. Alongside her significant medical work, Frether is ultra passionate about CrossFit and also does weightlifting at master's level. She is a super keen gardener with a penchant for roses. Frether is married to Peter and they have 3 children, Eva, Xanthi and William. The family lives in Kohemaurama and the girls go to St. Cuthbert's to honour their late grandmother. Frether is highly skilled and inspirational in her chosen field of practice, balancing her busy professional career with precious family time and plenty of exercise. Having the opportunity to read and learn more about Dr. Hanning has made me aware of the wider opportunities within the medical field that it could interest me. Her outstanding achievements, alongside her work with the community, is truly inspiring and something I look up to immensely. It is a great pleasure to honour Frether as a distinguished alumna of Epsom Girls Grammar School and a recipient of a Founders Award for her outstanding achievement in medicine.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you, Trinice. That's a lovely introduction. And I had promised my children, they said, you've just got to be prepared and you must not embarrass us. And so I appreciate you using their names because that saves me the burden. But they said, definitely do not call out your namesake, Charlotte Frether Wood. So hello, Charlotte. My children have nothing to be concerned about with embarrassment because I used to walk to school in preference because my mother was the principal of St. Cuthbert's, and if she drove me to school, she would periodically pull to the side of the road, wind down the window, because they used to be wind down, and shout out at the St. Cuthbert's girls going past, "Pull your socks up!" And I would be cowering in the seat and trying to pretend that I was not there. Having said that, I think teachers are amazing, and I thank the school and the teaching that I received here for really setting the path of my future. I think that incredible teaching is the first step to where you want to go in life. And for example, at medical school, one of the teachers built a paper mache pelvis in a gigantic size, built a baby's head, which he put over his own, and then he birthed himself on the stage. And I have never forgotten how babies turn as they come out the pelvis because of his teaching. So I think the thing to remember is that you're here getting this incredible grounding from these amazing teachers, and that is going to put you on your path for the rest of your life. And so I thank you very much to the school and also to the person who nominated me today, Robert Griffiths, and an incredible teacher in his own right. Medicine is a very rewarding career because it is never boring and there is always something to do, and you never get up in the morning and feel like you're not making a difference. And I would recommend that kind of career to you, somewhere where you're never asking yourself whether there's an opportunity today to make a difference. You get invited into the most difficult parts of people's lives, and that's an absolute privilege. And so it has been, although at times difficult, an incredible field to be involved in. I work at Auckland Hospital, and we've recently been renamed by Whaenaida. So we are Te Pururi o Te Ora, and that is, I work for the Cancer and Blood Service, treating cancer, but Te Pururi o Te Ora is the pururi tree of the forest. And in that tree, it's a very solid tree, you know, it will blunt a chainsaw. And so it's about that solidness of the tree, but in that tree, there are all these birds that all speak different languages to each other, are all doing different things, but it supports the health of the whole. And so we just need to remember that there is space for all of us in life, there's space for all of us in that tree, but we all need to be doing our own thing for the health of the whole. So don't feel like you have to be particularly special. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, I really am not up to much, I'm a pretty ordinary, average human being, welcome, you're my people. And all we have to do is keep persisting in life. You know, that is the thing. Find out what it is that you want to achieve and what difference you want to make. And just keep persisting, because eventually, with that persistence, you'll get there. You can kind of look around sometimes and think, I've got to be special, but I just don't believe that's true. Your own special self and your persistence will get you where you want to go. So just a huge thank you to Epsom Girls, and also to my family for everything that they've done over the years. My father, John, my husband, Peter, my beautiful children, and all that support I've had. So look forward to the future. I can't wait to be welcomed back here in another 40 years to see some of you giving this speech. Yeah.
Each year, the Old Girls Association recognises exceptional alumni of Epsom Girls Grammar School, and it's always a humbling experience. In 2019, Emma Fisk was recognised in the field of civil engineering, Mary Kissler for research and curatorial work in visual arts, and Ro Bellamy for outstanding service to Epsom Girls Grammar School and the Old Girls Association. No awards, as I mentioned earlier, were made in 2020, but this morning, the achievements of Sandra in law, Catherine in business and community, and Frether in medicine have been the focus of the 2021 Founders Awards. The breadth of areas of interest and excellence in their chosen fields of these EGS alumni is testament to these women's drive and commitment to be active citizens, contributing in a variety of ways to the good of their communities. As we look forward, I would like to affirm that we seek to encourage students to be confident, resilient, equipped with the skills, experiences and qualifications to take those next steps beyond school, ready to do some of the things we have heard about this morning, to try things, to take some risks, to work hard and to be committed, to persevere when things get tough, to give of their best, to do what they love, to have a sense of purpose that goes beyond self, to seize opportunities, to be considered and also innovative, to enjoy and love what they do. I would like to congratulate Sofia on her Olympic selection. Our very best wishes go with you, Sofia, and we will all be thinking of you as you go into this international competition. I also want to thank and congratulate Alice on her consistent and valuable contribution to the School Old Girls Association, and especially in this their centenary year. To the 2021 Epsom Girls Grammar School Old Girls Association Founders Awards recipients, Sandra, Catherine and Frether. Thank you so much for inspiring us this morning, and I would also like to say thank you to family members who have joined us here this morning. On behalf of the students and staff, please accept our warmest congratulations and best wishes. We're very proud that these wonderful women are ex-alumni. Let's join together in celebrating Sandra, Catherine and Frether as we come to the end of this assembly. In a moment, our guests will leave the stage and make their way up to the staff room. Please stand quietly while they leave the hall.